Hi FlossTube Stitchers. April happens to be my birthday month, and the vintage stitch that I chose for tonight's video, I believe was given to me for my birthday. It could have been Christmas, but if I remember correctly, most of the stitched gifts from my framer were for my birthday, rather than giving her a stitching framing deadline at Christmas along with her other work. So it could have been Christmas, but I'm going to say it was birthday. And I'm going to show you the chart because my piece has glass on it and it's a little hard to show up close. So it's called Brave One. It's a really sweet little patriotic flag. Pretty sure that photograph has faded. I don't think that's the color of the original mat from Jill Rensel's studio, but my framer did something different with it. But I just wanted to show you what the kits come with. We've got the linen, the silk, the button, a needle, and we have maybe 6 or 8 of these little kits done up as models, and I think they're still just $12. They've been the same price for years. So you can look on Shepherd's Bush's website under their category to see what other kits they might have, and you can actually order directly from them if you want as well. But that one is going to be my giveaway for this week. So if you could tell me if you have somebody in the military, or if you want to tell a story about somebody that had to be brave at one point in their life. Okay, this is what mine looks like. And I practiced a little bit to get the least amount of glare on it. So it's a really sweet little patriotic heart. And Bonnie put stars at the top to represent the sky. And I just love the frame she chose. To me, it looks like waves, and my dad was in the Navy, so that made perfect sense to me. So that was Brave One. And then a new shop model is Happy Independence Day by Primrose Cottage Stitches. Their original was done on 25 count mushroom Lugana, and I did mine on pewter. And it's just using 2 strands of the suggested floss colors. And Bonnie had a lot of fun playing around with this. I had stitched this in April of 2022 and finished it in June. And then it just went in a bag, and I guess I forgot about it. So recently I brought in a bunch of pieces, and she looked through them and picked the ones that she was inspired to work on, and this was one of them. So this is, I think this is a fillet rather than a full frame. I think it's a fillet. It also comes in gold. This is a silver version. It looks gold in this picture, but if you put it next to gold, the gold is really bright. And as Bonnie explained it, nothing silver is actually silver. So they always have to put it on top of something else. And the charm is silver, and I don't think I had a gold one, and I don't like really brassy gold anyway. So in real life, this looks good. It doesn't look too gold for the charm. So I think it's fine. And I love the burgundy wine Merlot color of the frame. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to have in my house too. I haven't had a new patriotic one, I think, in a while. All right, and then I guess, okay, so I'll just show you 2 others. I think I've been showing you these monthlies each month rather than showing you all 12 when Carol first loaned them to us. So this is Bent Creek's April Glooms from the Snapper monthly series. And I showed recently, I guess it was this week for Throwback Thursday, I showed Kate's version where she stitched all of them in one piece. And she actually had redesigned, she tweaked the border so that she could do it as a rectangle, a vertical rectangle instead of a long horizontal piece. So if you go back and look at Throwback Thursday, you'll see that. It's kind of high up on the wall and it's heavy, so I didn't get that down to show it. But anyway, I love the rhyming part of this series, and April glooms is often true. Now today it was a beautiful sunny day, and I think it might have gotten up to 70, but we've had rain, snow, hail, tornado warning. We've had everything this month so far. But the snapper, all of the snapper series have such clever uses for the snaps. They find interesting places to put them. So that's April glooms. And then this is from Primrose Cottage Stitches, also stitched by Carol Leonard. This is the April 9 patch. And she might have another frame at home, but this was the one she gave us to use for our display. So that's April. All right, and then I guess we'll go on to my stitching. And I have been following other people's birthday starts for quite a while, but I had never done it myself. And I had the idea ahead of time so that I wasn't caught off guard. April 1st happened to be the day after Easter, so I thought it was a really good time to start working on another season. And I decided to start on the 1st, even though my birthday's not till the end of the month, and just work on whatever project it was for the entire month. I had a couple things, probably ended up with a final 2 that I was really going back and forth. And then I think it was a post from Corey Wood that I saw that reminded me that it was Americana April. I don't know if they've done that before or that's new, but I think I've seen it a couple times being advertised, and I thought, oh, you know what? I'm gonna make it Americana April since that's a favorite theme of mine to stitch anyway, and I'll be right with the trend with the other stitchers on social media. And it happened to be that one of the top choices was a patriotic design. So I had been thinking of this since last year, or whenever it was a retreat piece, and I knew it wasn't going to be released until later. So this was released at market, and so that helped me make my decision. This was the other one that made it to the top. Well, I can't remember what the third one was now, but I had a top 3. But I was thinking of doing this one. As soon as she started working on this and showing it on social media, it looks like me. It looks like something I would stitch. It's got all 4 seasons, which I've been looking for more things that I can leave up all year. And I loved the snowflake like border at the, I don't know. It's just, I love that winter is a bigger season than spring, because that's so true here. And you get a little bit of a hot summer. It looks just like our seasons, you know. So it does have, it does have some summery looking things, but there's no actual flag. So that made it easy for me to decide that this was really going to be my patriotic start for April. So I'm not necessarily going to get, well, I didn't get that far yet. Today's the 14th. I think I only worked on it for 4 nights because I do not have all of the color and cotton flosses. I let other stitchers buy them. I had people that had wanted them for this project specifically, but also for other projects. And some were stitching the design with using 2 strands over a different count fabric. And so they bought extra skeins of some of the colors. So anyway, I only ended up with 4 colors. And then there are some DMC, but I didn't really want to count a lot to find all these different places. I wanted to kind of start in an area and then just work in that area. So I started with the red house, then I put the off-white house, and then the green is actually a DMC color. So I thought that would get me down to the water because I had the water color, that's Hunter. And then the white sails look like this, but they're not, they're a brighter white. So that's actually 4 color and cotton and 1 DMC so far. And my order should be coming soon. So I'd like to fill in the house and do the roof and move myself up to the words, and then I think it'll go pretty fast from there. So that's what I got done so far. I'm working on 36 count Confederate Gray from Weeks Dye Works. Oh, you know what? I don't have the whole chart. I just have the picture. Whatever they called for, I think one of them was a Farm Girl dry goods fabric and the other one was Fox and Rabbit, and I've never seen them in person, so I don't know what they look like, but I laid somebody else's colors before they picked them up. I laid their colors on the fabric and I knew that it would look good on this. So I'm really happy with it. It's not quite as orangey yellow as maybe the original is, but it goes with my other patriotic stitching. So that was American Sampler. Then I decided that because I knew I wouldn't be able to work nonstop on that project, that I would just spend April working on other patriotic things, and I had a couple WIPs that I need to finish, so I thought that was a good plan to work on patriotic all month. So I went back to, let's see, I'll show you the picture. This Freedom was day 7 of my Freebie February, and if I remember correctly, it's from Star Spangled Stitcher's Facebook group. I think that's what it was from, but it was day 7, so you can go back and find that information on my Facebook and Instagram posts. And I'm doing just the small version, and I'm doing it on raw linen, and so far I'm using all of the colors, all the DMC colors that it called for. And I got quite a bit done since the last time you saw this. I added all the blue and the red in the flag, the sunflowers, and I guess the leaves and the stems, which are 2 different colors. So I was really pleased about that. I'm using 1 strand on the 32 count, and I like the way it's coming out. And I'm ready to add some white, and they call for, Barbara Anna Designs is the designer, and she called for 30-33. It doesn't look too bad here, but in person, it looks like a pale gray, and I'm not sure I'm gonna like that for the white flag. I don't even think it matters what color I stitch it on. I think this is just not white enough for me, and I'm gonna try maybe 712 or ecru, just lighten it up a little bit, not go full on white, but lighten it up a little bit. So that'll be the next thing. I'll probably just try it in the corner just to see what I like. So that's that. And then, because it's my birthday month and my rules, I decided to start something new that was also patriotic. And it happened to be one of the kits I brought back from market from Les Secrets de Marie. So this is like a little wood blank bobbin that she shows as an ornament. And it's only the chart and the wood. You provide your own fibers. And so I finished it in 2 nights. Let's see, I think I'll put it on this, so make sure you see it okay. And I had a couple tips for working on the wood blanks. Hers did not come with a needle, which is no problem, but the ones that you get in the chain stores come with needles that are too big. They match the needle to the hole, not thinking about that the hole is going to be filled with stitches from all 4 directions. And so when I've done those kinds of kits, the needle's always broken on me. So I think I used a 26, maybe it was a 24, but I think the ones in the other kits are like really big, and I should have known better. So anyway, the other tip is I use the loop method, which I don't do for everything. And I forgot to do it for the sheep. The sheep itself, the body of the sheep was the first thing I did, and it's Dirt Road from Weeks Dye Works. But you know, if I had used the loop method, it wouldn't really have changed the variation that much. It's such a small area. But I kind of forgot, and then I thought, oh, well, you know what? I think I'm going to use the loop method, so that's one less tail I have to wind under. Then when I would get to the end of the thread and either didn't need it anymore or there wasn't enough to finish the section, I held that under the beginning of the next section. Now, I do like to wind my thread under the same color, so there were some tails I had to deal with, and I just used a wire needle threader to help pull the threads through. I haven't done it yet, but I'm probably going to put some sticky felt on the back to hide the stitching. The stitching is fairly neat, but I mean, you know, it's as neat as can be when you have tails on the back. But I'm going to do one of my tabletop trees patriotic this year. I've done our Christmas tree patriotic occasionally, but not recently. But I have these 3 tabletops, and I have a bunch of patriotic ornaments that would be the right size to use on it, but there's not a whole lot of stitched ones. So I thought this was my excuse. It's Americana April, plus I'll have another thing ready for display on the tabletop tree. So that was American Sheep. The other colors are not what they called for, but I just came as close as I could with what was handy. So that's that. Okay, that was all my stitching and all of the new shop stitching. Okay. Alrighty, so let me show you the new, I just took one out of the plastic bag, but this is the March color from Atomic Ranch for their automatic program. This is the 18, and then there's a Lugana and a linen, just to show you that they really looked very close. I don't think I showed, I think I looked this up. I don't think I showed this to you last time because it came late in March because of market, I think. So I don't think I had this for the last video. So this is called Golden Harvest, if I didn't already say that. And we get it in a variety of counts, 14, 16, 18, and 20 Ada, 28 and 32 Lugana, and then in linen, 32, 36, and 40. And I usually have 1 or 2 pieces left over, depending on how many people are actually on my automatic. And then 1 or 2 counts I order extra because it's just popular. So anyway, let me know if you're interested in any of those. They're very reasonably priced. I think only 2 of the counts went up, even those Weigart's prices went up. So Mike is keeping us, he's keeping it real with us, and he's appreciating his automatic customers. And so he did not raise everything across the board. So I appreciated that. Yeah, I think last time I just showed you the spring stuff that I brought back from market. All right, so that was the Atomic Ranch. Then we got some new charts that have like nothing to do with market. And let's see, darn it, I meant to look this up. I am so sorry. I meant to look that up. I do not know what that means. Printemps is French, but that's a different word. So if I look it up, I'll try to put it under here. But this is, we have a couple new ones from Collection Tralala. This is Jolie Lapin, which is that Pretty Rabbits or Happy Rabbits or Joyful Rabbits? I think it's Pretty Rabbits. Oh well, I didn't do my homework. All right, then Jardin Privé, another French designer, and this was the sampler of medallions, which is really pretty. I don't know if you could do this monochromatic. I think if I did it, I would get rid of like half the colors, but I'm not sure it would, especially with, you know, the shading on the house and that. But when I first saw it, I thought, oh, I wonder if you could do this in less colors. Then Leela Studio has Happy Bee Day. She had 2 bee ones that came out, but I don't know what happened to the other one. It must not have been in stock. But this is going on my to-do list. Both of them. I really like those. Then from Madame Chantilly, these are Eastery, but I don't think you'll mind. A cargo of eggs, since we're always stitching ahead, right? This is Blue Flowers and Curious Rabbit. And then from Shakespeare's Peddler, remember Stars? That was for a retreat last year or 2 years ago. Oh, it says 2023, so last year. So this was from Plum Street, and she did it together with Teresa, and so Teresa has and stripes. So I thought that was cute. That's a lot of red stitching. Anyway, more from Teresa, Pennsylvania Christmas Deer. Oh my goodness, I might have to do that in blue, with the blue fabric, I mean. And then Pennsylvania Christmas 2, which is also equally as lovely, but you know me, I like the deer. So All right, 1 nickel needles, Pretty in Pink. And then the automatic from Stitching with the Housewives, Blessed Beyond Measure, which uses a kitchen backing board from Paisleys and Polka Dots. Their word swap for May is Daisies. And that board is a whitewash rectangular sign frame at Hobby Lobby. And then their monthly weigh-in for June. So I'm not going to do all of the weigh-ins. I don't have a scale. I haven't been to an antique show in ages. Maybe if I find one someday, I'll do this. But I may have to do this for my strawberry display. I'm always looking for different strawberry ones, and I need maybe some bigger ones to anchor the display. Then Val's stuff, spring is on its way. Still with the snowman. I thought that was funny. She lives in a similar climate to ours. Spring Barn Trio from Waxing Moon. And then I should always have these facing you so I can just lift them up, but then I forget what the name is and I can't read it upside down backwards. This is an automatic from Amy Brecken, Bloom All Year. You could really go crazy with your button jar. And then Coffee, Red, White, and Bloom, and Summer Smalls. I really like the shape of that bee skep. It's very, very cute. I may have to do that with a blue flower. And then I showed this, I think I showed this on Friday for my Friday's fave. And I've just always been a fan of that coverlet look. There's been several designers that have done things like that, and I'm very attracted to, I like coverlets. I like the real thing too, but I love the pattern. I love how that's only it's only 3 floss colors, but it looks like more. It almost looks like it's over dyed, but it's not. And in the picture that I showed on Facebook and Instagram, it showed the next 2 in the Greatest of These series. So that's the end of that. Okay, then the winner from last time, which was like, I think it's been 3 weeks because I didn't do one on Easter Sunday, and then last week it was the Easter Spring slideshow. So it's been 3 weeks since a few people commented after. Yes, you got in the drawing too, because I didn't do the drawing until this afternoon. So the winner was My Evil GSP. I do not know what that means, and I'm so curious. I can't wait to find out what that means. But she said her favorite fruit is peaches, but she also loves strawberries. And she's going to get her choice of one of the 3 House on a Hill patterns from Blueberry Ridge. The other 2 were blueberry and pear. I just chose strawberry because she said that, but she's not obligated to get this one. She can get any of the 3. And so this will go out to her as soon as I get her mailing address. And let's see, you know what to do for this week. At the end, I'm gonna put some pictures from our eclipse viewing party from this past Monday. Yes, we were in the path of the total solar eclipse. I actually was just so excited I spit. I hope you couldn't see that, but now I just talked about it, so now you know I did it. Anyway, I wasn't sure I would have been as into it if my brother wasn't coming from Chicago with his telescope. And he was so excited. And so we started looking up things and looking at when the last one was and when the next one would be. And I happened to be off on Mondays, so it was perfect. And we had gotten half-baked pizzas the day before because they were going to be closed on Monday, so that we could just have an easy meal. And we did a whole salad bar with it. And it was just a fun family event. And my brother stayed for a couple days, but he was very excited. He could have seen, I think he said it was going to be a 90% where he lives in Illinois, but he's retired, so he could come down and join us. And it was really fun. So I'll put some pictures at the end. there was a video or a picture, I think, of the sunset, which was really cool because it looked like it was 360. It was very odd. It was very, you could hear as soon as it happened, all of my neighbors who we couldn't see because there's a lot of trees, but we were out in the farmer's field behind our house. And we kept wondering if anybody else was, off work and outside watching. But when the total eclipse happened at that moment, we could hear all this cheering from other houses. But I looked around and it looked like the sunset was 360. It was very weird and awesome at the same time. So I'll put some of those pictures at the end. Let's see, I'm pretty sure I crossed off everything on my list here, checked off in my head, not crossed off with a pen because that would take too long. I will be back next week with some more progress on my Americana April and my birthday start, because I'm hoping my thread will come by then. And I might have some new charts to show you. And I can't remember what else I ordered. Anyway, some good stuff. So stay tuned for next week. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.